Senhoras e senhores, ele é das Filipinas.
Arthur Ashe Stadium is about to get an unusual preview of the US Open. On Thursday, August 27th, Alex Eala will walk into the largest tennis stadium in the world for a one-set exhibition against American teenager Iva Jovic, and the attention surrounding that match has become impossible to ignore. The official stars of the Open event starts at 6 p.m., with tickets advertised from $30, and reports from Filipino sports coverage indicate that the event has sold out. For an exhibition with no ranking points and no tournament title on the line, that level of demand says something important about Eala's rapidly growing profile. Welcome to the channel. If you follow Alex Eala's rise from promising junior to one of the biggest emerging names in women's tennis, you already know how quickly this story has moved. And if you want the latest developments from New York as the US Open gets underway, make sure you're subscribed. Because what is happening around Eala right now is bigger than one exhibition match. It is a sign that her popularity is beginning to catch up with the results she has been producing on court. The event itself is officially called Stars of the Open, presented by Chase. The USTA has scheduled 4 one-set matches inside Arthur Ashe Stadium, beginning Thursday evening at 6 p.m. The lineup includes Amanda Anisimova against Marta Kostyuk, Joao Fonseca against Lerna Tien, Alexandra Eala against Iva Jovic, and Arthur Fils against Alex Michelsen. A portion of the ticket proceeds will support the USTA Foundation and its tennis and education programs for young people in under-resourced communities. So why is the Eala-Jovic matchup attracting so much attention? Start with the venue. Arthur Ashe Stadium can accommodate more than 23,000 spectators, making it the largest tennis stadium in the world. This is not a small fan-week court tucked away somewhere in the Billie Jean King National Tennis Center. Eala is walking into the same enormous arena that hosts the biggest nights of the US Open, and she is doing it before the actual singles tournament has even started. And there is another detail that makes this event different. The USTA did not build the entire night around established Grand Slam champions. Instead, the organization deliberately selected young players who represent the next generation of tennis stars. Eala was one of the 4 original headline names announced alongside Fonseca, Jovic, and Tien. Later, the rest of the lineup was completed with Anisimova, Kostyuk, Fils, and Michelsen. The official description specifically highlighted the ability of Eala and Fonseca to draw massive crowds, including strong support from Filipino and Brazilian fans. That detail matters. The USTA is not simply giving Eala a spot because she is competing in the US Open. The organization has positioned her as one of the faces of Fan Week. And that decision is becoming easier to understand when you look at what has happened around her during the North American hardcourt season. Her popularity has been growing alongside her ranking, her results, and her ability to connect with an audience that stretches far beyond the traditional tennis market. The latest ranking makes the timing even more significant. On August 24th, Eala climbed to a career-high world number 18. That move took her 2 places higher than her previous position and, more importantly, made her the highest-ranked Southeast Asian woman in WTA singles history. She moved beyond the previous regional benchmark of number 19, jointly held by Indonesia's Yayuk Basuki and Thailand's Tamarine Tanasugan. Suddenly, Eala was not just approaching the world's top 20. She had rewritten a regional record. That ranking milestone gives Thursday night another layer. When Eala walks onto Arthur Ashe Stadium, she will not be arriving simply as a young player enjoying a promotional exhibition. She will be a career-high number 18 player, a WTA title winner, a Grand Slam 4th-rounder, and the highest-ranked Southeast Asian woman the sport has ever produced. The exhibition may not award ranking points, but the stage itself is significant. And Eala has earned that stage through a remarkable 2026 season. Earlier this year, she captured the Birmingham title, becoming the first Filipino player to win a WTA singles title. Then came Washington, where she produced the biggest title run of her career to that point. At the Mubadala DC Open, Eala defeated Naomi Osaka in the semifinals before beating Jessica Pegula in the final to claim another major milestone. The WTA reported that she entered the Washington event at a career-high number 28 and would rise again after winning the title. The Washington title was especially important because it changed the conversation around Eala. She was no longer simply the player who had surprised everyone with a deep run at Miami in 2025. She was now proving that the breakthrough could be repeated. She had won a WTA 125 title in Birmingham, then a WTA 500 tournament in Washington, and she had continued climbing the rankings. That combination of results made her increasingly difficult for the tennis establishment to describe as merely a prospect. Then came Wimbledon. Eala reached the fourth round, producing another significant Grand Slam performance and defeating defending champion Iga Swiatek along the way. That result gave her another enormous international platform. It also demonstrated something that has become central to her rise. She is capable of producing headline results on the biggest courts, against players who are already established at the top of the sport. Her North American swing continued in Toronto and Cincinnati, and although neither tournament ended with another title, the overall trajectory remained strong. In Toronto, Eala reached the round of 16 before losing to Belinda Bencic. In Cincinnati, she advanced to the round of 32 before falling to Amanda Anisimova. The Cincinnati defeat was frustrating because Eala had won the opening set and even held an early lead in the deciding set before Anisimova turned the match around. But that loss did not erase the bigger picture. 8 days later, Eala is in New York preparing for the final Grand Slam of the season, carrying a career-high ranking and a much larger spotlight than she had when the summer began. That is the part of her current story that deserves attention. Her momentum is no longer based on one tournament. It has been built through a sequence of performances across different surfaces, different cities, and increasingly demanding stages. And now she gets Arthur Ashe. The significance of the venue should not be underestimated. For many players, stepping into Ashe for the first time during a major tournament is a career moment. Eala gets an opportunity to experience that atmosphere before her US Open singles campaign begins. She will have a huge crowd, a major New York stage, and a familiar opponent waiting across the net. That opponent is Eva Jovic. The American teenager has also become one of the most interesting young players on the WTA Tour. She has broken into the top 20 and reached the quarterfinals of the Australian Open earlier this year. The USTA has repeatedly presented Jovic as one of the young players leading the next generation, which makes the matchup with Eala particularly appropriate for an event designed around emerging stars. But this is not the first time Eala and Jovic have met. They have already faced each other twice in 2026, and Jovic won both encounters. Their first meeting came at Roland Garros, where Jovic won in straight sets. They met again at the HSBC Championships in London, with Jovic again coming away with the victory. That gives Thursday night a very simple competitive storyline. Eala has a chance to change the head-to-head against a player she knows extremely well. Of course, there is an important difference this time. This is an exhibition. There are no WTA ranking points available, and the format is completely different from a standard Grand Slam match. The USTA has scheduled each contest as a single set, first to 6 games. That means there is very little room for a slow start, and the atmosphere could be more intense than the format suggests because every game becomes important immediately. For Jovic, the match is also a chance to play in front of a massive New York crowd as one of the faces of American tennis. For Eala, it is something slightly different. She will be surrounded by Filipino supporters who have followed her journey from junior tennis through her breakthrough on the WTA Tour. That combination of American and Filipino fans could create a very distinctive atmosphere inside Ashe. And that brings us back to the reported ticket demand. Several Filipino sports reports have described the stars of the Open event as sold out, while ticket information confirms that the event was initially marketed from $30. The official US Open page confirms the August 27th date, 6 p.m. start time and Arthur Ashe Stadium location. What is not publicly confirmed by the USTA is a specific resale market figure such as $140 or a precise number of tickets sold. So those numbers should be treated cautiously rather than repeated as official USTA data. That distinction is important because the story does not need an inflated resale number to be impressive. The verified facts are already strong enough. Eala is one of the headline players selected for a major Fan Week exhibition. The event is taking place inside Arthur Ashe Stadium. Tickets were marketed from an accessible $30 price point. Filipino coverage has reported a sellout. And all of this is happening immediately after Eala reached a historic number 18 ranking. There is a clear connection between those developments. Eala's competitive success is creating visibility, and that visibility is creating demand. Her fan base is not limited to the Philippines. Filipino communities across the United States have embraced her, particularly in areas with large Filipino populations. New York is one of the most important places for that audience, which makes Arthur Ashe a natural stage for the next chapter of her rise. This is also why the Eala story is increasingly interesting from a business perspective. Tennis players become marketable when their results, personality, and audience begin moving in the same direction. Eala has now reached a point where all three are happening simultaneously. She has ranking momentum, recognizable achievements, and a passionate fan base that is willing to travel, buy merchandise, and show up in large numbers. The commercial signals have already appeared before Thursday night. Nike unveiled Eala's royal blue US Open outfit, priced at $140, and also introduced a Nike court shirt carrying her name. Reports around the merchandise release showed significant interest from fans. Again, that does not mean every Eala product is permanently sold out or that every report about inventory is accurate. But it does demonstrate that brands are increasingly treating her as an athlete with a market beyond the tennis court. That is an important development because Eala is still only 21. Her biggest professional milestones have arrived recently, meaning the commercial growth could be happening at the same time as her competitive prime begins to take shape. The danger for any young player is that attention can arrive faster than results can sustain it. Eala's challenge now is to keep the two connected. And that is where Thursday night becomes more than a fun exhibition. She gets to test herself against Jovic in a format that rewards immediate intensity. She gets to experience another enormous Ashe crowd. She gets to interact with the supporters who have followed her rise. And she gets to enter the final Grand Slam